Today's video, we're going to be checking out the new Diamond Select Kingdom Hearts Action Figure Series 2. This is Soldier, Pete, and Chip and Dale. You know, I didn't do this intentionally, but I do find it funny that the first figure set that I had to look at, Aqua and Goofy, was 2 figures. Then I had to look at Roxas, Donald, and Goofy. That was 3 figures. And now somehow it worked its way quite favorably that we're now having a look at a 4-figure release. Starting with the biggest, working our way to the smallest. Let's figure out how tall these figures stand. So starting with Pete. Pete is 6.5 inches. Now I took that right to the very top of his ears, giving me 6.5 inches. Moving further down, we have the Soldier standing at 3.5 inches. And then Chip and Dale are both pretty much the exact same size. They are 2 inches apiece. Accessory-wise, pretty much what you see is what you get. They don't come with any sort of accessories. But to be fair, I guess in some regards, the Chip and Dale are really accessories to the 2 figures, because looking at them, which why don't we do that right now, really nice representations of both Chip and Dale. Kind of odd to see them dressed like this and not dressed like Indiana Jones and Magnum P.I. from the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers cartoon, but really nice representations of both of them. I will stress this, though, and this is the thing is, they're really more accessories than anything else. Even what I thought initially was head articulation, rather instead was adding stress to the neck. I realized very quickly that both figures are not so much figures as they are pretty much just action little representations of them. I'm curious as to why they couldn't have given them head articulation or arm articulation, but again, just for the very virtue that we are getting 4 figures and then the Chip and Dale included with that, I'm just happy to be seeing them. Paint on them is pretty good. The flesh color, or really rather what you would call that, like the light peach color of their fur, pretty clean. Eyes a little on the messy side, but there's the backs of them, both with their little tiny tails. They seem to share the same costume, so there's really not much different between them. Although Dale's seems to be a little bit on the lighter side versus Chip's. But there's the front, there's the back of them. So again, nice little accompanying pieces. Can't really do too much with them, but I'm more happier for the fact that we are getting them than not getting them. Moving up the chain of height, here we have a Soldier. And essentially, this is like the second time around we've gotten a Soldier in the Kingdom Hearts releases. Still a nice looking figure release. Primarily made up of dark navy, a little bit of lighter violet, and some darker red for the fingernails. Essentially, what I'm doing right now is stuff that you can visibly see with your eyes. So let's talk a little bit about some of these extra additional details. I love the little curly nature of his helmet. Again, he's got more of a spindly sort of arm here, suffering a little bit from very little posability. I mean, you can move the arms around, can't really move them out. Doesn't really have any articulation in the feet, even right down to the curly shoes. I love those. I do love that quite a bit. But no posability down below, and the only other thing you're really getting is head posability. So really, if you count the head and you count the arms, you get 3 points of articulation when it comes to the Soldier. He's kind of more so a decorative piece, kind of in the same way as Chip and Dale, although you do get the enhanced benefit of some additional posability on this guy. The real all-star clearly is that of Pete. I love this figure, and I love Diamond Select for the fact that they would have given us this figure in plastic form. And you can really see the broad scope of how the characters have varied in sizes, now looking at the biggest of the figures of all of the figures released under the Series 2 banner. In fact, we'll put Pete right there. Let's bring in some of the figures that we've already had a look at. To go along with Chip and Dale, we got not only one Goofy, but we did get ourselves a secondary Goofy. There's the 2 Goofies right there. One came with Roxas, and the other one came with Aqua. Speaking of Aqua, there's Aqua right there. to go with the Disney colleagues. There's Donald. Again, his feet are a little on the loose side. And I guess last but certainly not least, there's Roxas. There's all the figures. Now you keep in mind that all of these make up only 3 releases, 3 individual carded releases. Yet essentially what we're getting is, what we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures. Not bad. That's not bad at all for a 3 set release, that is. And you can see definitely how they all vary in size as well. The smallest being the Chip and Dale, and of course the very largest, carried and blocking by the 2 human characters here. We've got Pete. A nice release of all the figures here. Mind you though, we are looking at Pete, so we don't want to overshadow him, because he again is one of, I may say he is my favorite release of all the figures from Series 2, which is kind of unfair because with it being under the Kingdom Hearts namesake, I would kind of hope I would be in favoring of more of the human characters, but ultimately it does boil down to really digging the design here of Pete. Now looking at these, I also think one thing in mind. I don't know if you may be sharing the same experience that I'm going to be describing to you, but I would love to see Diamond Select being the kind of the bearer of the torch, so to speak, for future Mickey's Christmas Carol figure releases, which I know we don't really want to talk about Christmas yet. Oh boy, Christmas is right around the corner. I guess it's not really right around the corner. It's the 8th month right now. If you think about it from that standpoint, Christmas is about 4 months away. Start getting planning for that. Oof. I have to start saving up for Christmas gifts. But I do like this Pete quite a bit, and the first thing again I thought of was Mickey's Christmas Carol, so I don't know if they could ever get the rights to that. I would love to see them doing a Pete here in the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, or Christmas About to Be. Face sculpt here on him is glorious. Love the head sculpt. Paint, very nice, very clean. Get a load of the mug there. I mean, that looks like it was pulled right from, I would say, the cartoon, but in this case, more so the actual game. Now, he does have posability in the head, but it's very limited. He does have a ball joint, but you can't really move the head too much. At the very least, you can get an angle, kind of tipping head action happening from Pete, so I do like that. Costume is very colorful, a combination of reds, some blues, various shades of blues, ranging from dark, light, some kind of more purpley versions of blue. And then he's got all these zippers. One big zipper down the front. He's got some zippers on his side pocket. And as you can see, the zipper would go all the way around to the back here. You get a little bit of the little paint kind of combinations where paints have kind of blended in together. But otherwise, it's pretty clean here on Pete. Nice big giant hands happening on him as well. Full range of posability. We'll talk about that in a second. He's got kind of sneaker shoes happening here. Again, you got that combination of blues, some purples, some lighter, almost violets. And then you've got the outer area here in white with the undersole. Surprisingly, again, no peg holes on the undersides of his feet. Some of the characters have had them. Other characters, like old Pete here, sadly have not. Nonetheless, though, posability on Pete, good old Pete. I keep wanting to say good old Pete, adding on to his existing name. But his head hinges up and down. Up, down, that's down, up, down. It also does rotate side to side. Shoulders are hinging outward. Not limited at all by his shoulder guards here. They are far enough down on the arms that when you are moving the arms, they kind of stay out of the way. It does still mean that he has rather stiff arms, which I've noticed on some of the bigger figures, but that's okay. Like I said, it hinges out, forward and back on the elbows. You can also rotate the arms around. He also has individual hand articulation, which actually rotates right on that cut there. Rotates right there. No waist swivel. Forward and back on the knees. The lower legs rotate. And then he's also got a hinge, an independent hinge on the foot. So, I don't know if you can see it there, but he's got a hinge, and then he's got a hinge right there, right where my big thumb is pointing at. So he's really posable where he needs to be posable. Could he have really afforded some additional accessories really on all of these figures? I don't think necessarily. Let's just give them a stand. There we go. Do they need necessarily accessories? I would think in this instance, no. It's not like Chip and Dale really have the abilities to hold weapons anyways. Pete could have come with something, but I'm just more happy that this much plastic was made to produce this beautiful thing in front of us. I know, I am a hard person to read. Tell us what you really think. I love this Pete. I love its size, the fact that this much plastic would have been made into this figure, and even then, this figure on his own could have sold well, just packaged with maybe a few little accessories, but the fact that then, once again, Diamond Select incorporates some additional smaller characters really makes them the kings when it comes to these action figure releases. You get yourself a nice big, beefy Pete, but then you've also got yourself the Soldier and Chip and Dale. Kind of wish that the Chip and Dale could have had at the very least head articulation. I could have lost the arm articulation, not really feel like I'm missing out on anything, but some head articulation would have gone a long way for the little small Chip and Dale. Again, nice set on this release, and again, nice set as a whole for all the action figure series 2 that we were looking at from the Kingdom Hearts banner. If you guys are interested in picking up any of these for yourself, you should be happy to know that they are now currently available in comic book stores. If be the odd chance that you go to your local comic book store and you don't see them, don't break down and have a tantrum in the store. Instead, go to your local comic book store, check out, see if they have them, but ask the guy at the counter or the girl at the counter, see if they can order them in for you. 9 times out of 10, they'd be more than happy to order them in. Takes about, usually, I've done this on occasion. If they didn't have it, I just simply add them to order it in for me, and it took about 2 weeks. That time frame may change and fluctuate depending on which comic book stores you have in your area, but on average, it usually might take about 2 to 3 weeks for them to order something in for you. So don't have a tantrum. Whatever you do, don't have a tantrum, especially if you're in your mid-30s. That's probably not the greatest thing to be doing. Don't have a tantrum. They'd be more than happy to order these in for you, and I really would recommend them for fans of Kingdom Hearts, and more importantly, for also Disney. Loving the look of these Disney characters. It's so funny that the Disney characters are probably some of my favorite aspects of the Kingdom Hearts releases, but I guess it kind of goes without saying. Today, though, we were having a look at, this was the Diamond Select Kingdom Hearts Action Figure Series 2. This was Pete, this was Chip and Dale, this was a Soldier, this was 4 figures for the price point of 1, in some ways. If you guys haven't had a chance to hit that little subscribe button down below, what are you waiting for? There's going to be many more videos coming your way. We're going to do some more Diamond Select reviews coming your way as well. If also you haven't had a chance, swing by the main page. Check out the section that says videos, see if there's anything you may have missed along the way, and while you're there, stay for a bit. Have something to eat, have a bite to eat. But you can also check out the YouTube channel of Diamond Select. Yeah, did you know they had one? They did. That's your best place to kind of see up-and-coming releases before it hits store shelves. So if you haven't already had a chance to subscribe to the Diamond Select YouTube channel, it'll be there in the featured channels section of the homepage. As always, guys, thanks for watching, as you always do. I always like reading new comments, especially if you're new to this channel. Like if you've just recently subscribed, let me know down below. I'd like to meet you. I'd like to say, hey, how's it going? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Let me know down below if you are a new subscriber to this channel. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.